Assalamualaikum, good evening everyone. Welcome back to Political Insight.
40 minutes with political knowledge.
Today, Wednesday, November the 3rd, right?
Yes.
November the 3rd, tonight with me, Daniel Azam, and my co-host.
Khalid Vikriyadi.
And yes,
Stay tuned with our tonight.
Yes, okay. How are you, Khalid?
I'm good. What about you, Daniel?
Alhamdulillah, week 12, nothing to do, everything done, as I mentioned last week. Okay, so for tonight, we have a very, very interesting topic about our underprivileged children who's living in
child poverty.
Yes. Under poverty line lah. Basically around KL lah, in Chowkit. So for tonight we have our guest, Madam Siti Rahayu Baharin. Welcome Madam to Political Insight. Welcome back to IIUM.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam. So here I understand that you are a mother, right?
Yes, I'm a mother first.
I'm a mother, and then you're the person who run the Buku Jalan Chowkit as well.
Yes.
And of course, as I mentioned, and she's welcome back to IIM because she's the alumni of IIM, graduating in the year
2005, 2004.
Wow.
Yeah, it was way back when, right?
Yeah.
It was 15 years ago?
Yeah. But then I did my master and I graduated in 2011.
So you came back twice lah?
Yes.
The first time for master and now for the political insight.
Yes.
So what field are you in when you're in IIUM?
Political science.
Political science. So since she's our senior, so who's your favorite lecturer? Tuku Moha.
Oh, unfortunately, I did not get a chance to study with him because, when I was here, he was, I think he was abroad studying. I think my favorite would be Professor Rashid Morton and Dr. Wahabuddin Rais and Professor
Wahabuddin.
Yeah, Wahabuddin.
Both of them are no longer here, right?
They're no longer here, right?
Yeah, just
I am the batch of Dr. Haslinda.
Dr. Haslinda.
Yes.
Oh my God, so you guys are friends?
Yeah, we are friends.
Classmates? That's very interesting. Something new because usually our guests are, some of them are alumni, but they are not from political science. Okay, so for tonight, we're going to talk about the undocumented future of children poverty. So Khalid, let's start with our first talking point for tonight. Yeah.
Actually, this is very interesting
point.
Right? I really love this topic because you know what, like, a lot of children in this world like didn't get equal opportunities toward the education, especially. But then, yeah, this is life. I mean, like, it is not fair sometimes, whereby the children should be divided by the classes at the early age, and yeah, but it is world.
Yes. So, Madam, please tell us about your experience as the founder of Buku Jalan Chowkit. How the idea first came around, and how many people together in your team that you established the Buku Jalan Chowkit.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Thank you very much for inviting me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Actually, right, when the department invited me, I would never say that I'm busy. My schedule is quite packed. But I think I owe the department so much. I owe the university so much. I was not like you guys, I think. I never know that this
exists.
Yeah. Me was like, I was really struggling in the when I was doing my degree years. Because I'm not that bright student, I believe. But like I said, Madam Dr. Haslinda really helps me a lot. She helps me a lot. She's the creme de la creme, I think.
Yeah. The best among the best.
Yeah, she's the best. And then she helps me a lot. Why is it I am telling you guys this? Because, right, and I think the very idea of Buku Jalan Chowkit itself, right, I owe it to the department. I owe to my lecturer. Because when I was doing my... the department did not really impacted me much when I was doing my first degree. But during my master year, right, my whole perspective, my whole paradigm shifted. And I think, because earlier you guys were asking me about my favorite lecturer, right? I think those two person, right, really changed my
perspective,
worldview, the way that I look at things, the way I view things. I remember during my, what is the class Professor Wahabuddin was teaching? I didn't remember. Survey of Political History,
yes,
is it?
yes.
I don't remember whether that is the one that he speak long about Treaty of Westphalia, is it?
Oh.
Is it?
No, he left us already.
Oh,
so
you guys didn't get a chance to study with him.
No, I never
He's amazing.
take.
He's amazing.
Mhm.
Okay, in one of his class, right? I remember 1 month we spent on talking about perspective. What is perspective? What is paradigm? What is worldview? Or on what kind of glasses should you view the world? And in Professor Abdul Rashid Morton class, is Islamizations of Political Science. He really shifted the way that I think. He asked this question: do you guys eat to live or live to eat? And then he asked, what is the meaning of knowledge? Why is it you guys are studying? You know, all of that questions, all of that input that was given to me really changed the way that I look at
How do you
world,
look at the world?
you know. So I started venturing into childcare. So when I went there, right, I saw a lot of soup kitchens, which the very idea of soup kitchen is very important to childcare itself, to the community. And we can see there will be a long queue, like 500 queue of people waiting for food. And with that people, there will be children on the street running around and everything. And I was thinking, why not if we have something, we add on to something? You know, because people are feeding the children
Yes.
and the people with food, right? And I was thinking, why don't I bring books? So while they're queuing, right, they can grab
Actually,
books and
yes.
read. So that is the initial idea in the beginning. And I was so inspired by Buku Jalanan as a movement. I believe we have Buku Jalanan UAE as well.
Yes.
Yes. Buku Jalanan is found. I have 1 minute left. Okay. So that's the very idea of Buku Jalanan, where I saw a problem, right, of a community problem, and I tried to bring solutions by bringing knowledge to the space. Yeah.
I see. So I think like we have a lot of discussion that we are going to discover, and I believe that you know, like every world change from time to time. How do you view it? And people really have influence toward us, especially our lecturers, Daniel, right?
Yes.
And we have to appreciate them a lot who have taught us
Because as Madam mentioned, they change our perspective in doing something.
Yes.
Yeah, from we see nothing to suddenly like, oh, the importance of education for children.
True.
So okay, we're gonna continue our discussion after this break. So stay tuned with
Stay
Political
tuned with
Insight. Yeah.
40 minutes with political knowledge.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك.
Welcome back to Political Insight, 40 minutes with political knowledge.
Okay.
So Daniel, we
Khalid,
have
we
discussed
have to continue because this topic tonight is very, very interesting.
very interesting.
So, okay, straight to the point. Okay, the second question.
We have discussed about a lot of the interesting and how the lectures changed. How do you view the world? And I'm quite like want to know, maybe the audience want to know, like how at the first place that you built this buku jalanan Chowkit.
I think I built Buku Jalanan, not that I built Buku Jalanan, my team
Your
at
team,
Buku
okay.
Jalanan built Buku Jalanan. You know, we are not a person who plans so much, but then we just do it. We found a problem, there's a problem, and then we try to solve it. We are quite idealistic in a sense, I believe, because it is like, can we do this? Yeah, let's do that. It is like that. Because, you know, children's issues is an issues that people didn't really look into so much, because for us they're like children's, they're not adults, and for political people, right, political actors, the thing is that children's are those who can't vote for them. Children's are those who are not in the political arena. Therefore, they are often neglected. For example, in policies and everything. But in Buku Jalanan Chowkit, we believe that the most important client that we have is the children. So whatever things that we do, right, in the process of building it, it's always how do we say this? We always cater to the best interest of the children first. What are the things that they need? For example, right, when we begin, like I said, we saw children's running, and then we know that these children needed something more to be added up to their life. So we bring in books. After books, right, in the beginning it's only on Sunday nights that we started it. But later onward, we have classes on Friday, because the children asked us to come on Friday. They were asking whether they can have like homework day, you know, to help them doing homework. So from the street, we just bring mats, you know, and the children will write down. You know, when you write down just on the floor, and it's like a very thick tarpaulin only, you know, as a mat, and down there is tar. So when the children write down, right, they tend to kneel. So when they kneel, right, it is somehow it's painful.
It's not comfortable.
So we figure out that we need small table. So small table came in, and then because it's night time, the alley is always dark. The only lights that we have is that there's a security lights there, you know. So and then we figure out, okay, somebody came out with the idea of sponsoring us with solar lamp. So we have solar lamp then. So that is how we build Buku Jalanan Chowkit. It's gradual process. It's observing what is the need of the children. And then in 2017 we figure out, because there's SEA Games going on, and the authority, right, they really want to clear the image of Chowkit, right? The image of Kuala Lumpur as a city centre. So they did not really allow any activity to be done on the street. So what happened, right, there's immigration truck park, there's police truck park, you know. So parents are quite scared to come down.
Because they are undocumented.
Not really. Some of them, okay, I have 85 children. 35 are undocumented and displaced. The rest is Malaysians, but living
under poverty
poverty line. We're not talking about B40 with these people, you know. They're way below that. And so when that happened in 2017, we were like, this cannot be. what if, and one of my teammate was saying that, what if we have our own space, you know? And then at that night, right, all of us were saying, Jom, let's have our own space. We started to write proposal. In 2 days, we finished up our proposal. I started to send the proposal. Alhamdulillah, with the proposal, we managed to build the space that we have right now. Julie's Biscuits are the one who sponsors our rental. Yes. Think City funded the renovations, and then we have a lot of Malaysians who are really helping in monetarily or skill giving and everything. So that is how we build. I'm proud to say that Buku Jalanan Chowkit is actually built by people, for the people. I can become, to the people. I can become a politician, right?
Madam,
Yeah.
what is your hope for these children in the future?
Everybody is talking that children are the future, but so are we really concerned about that we put it in actions, right? For me, right, every children deserve to go to school, to receive a better education.
True.
Every children deserve equal playing field. I'm not talking about equality that everybody getting the same thing. No. Equality is that everybody will have their own platform to launch themselves. See, for example, stateless children. We have a lot. I have my I have group of young people I know in Sempurna, Sabah, in Tawau, under the name of Borneo Comrade. What they did is that they created a school for those Bajau Laut children who their citizenships are always in questions. They came and born without any documentation, so they end up cannot go to school. They did not receive education. Well, education is the most important thing. I think in Thailand, what they have is that they have this one term called children of the soil, where every children who are in the soil of Thailand are allowed to attend school. In Japan itself, right, every Japanese children's, it is compulsory for them to attend school. But for every other children, regardless of their status, right, they can attend school if they want. So I was hoping that in Malaysia, one day, every children, regardless of their status, would be able to attend school. Yeah. And receive good education.
So mentioning about the, just a quick question about the 35, right? You said the document. So are they went to normal school or not?
They did not.
So
what happened is that we have our own school for them.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll talk more about that later.
Sure. We'll also be talking about...
There is one thing that really impressed me when you say that equality is whereby the children should have the space to launch themselves. I really love that
because
word.
we have our very own capability,
True.
right? Okay, so we're going to continue the discussion more about these children later after this break. So stay tuned with Political Insight.
40 minutes with political knowledge.
Alah, lapar lah. Nak makan apa ni?
Bumbulu ni, bumbulu ni.
Bulu ni tu kat sini kan? Tidak. Sorry. One, two, three. Bomboloni! Bomboloni! Bomboloni!
Bombolone, bombolone, bombolone. RM2, RM1, bombolone.
Welcome back to Political Insight.
40 minutes with political knowledge. Okay, it's very interesting. Okay, straight to the point again.
Yeah, so many,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, like, you know, there is one term that being described by Madam that really impressed me when you say like children
Yeah.
have their
A
own
platform to launch
equality.
themselves.
Yes, equality for children is that whereby the children has the platform to explore themselves, to launch themselves. However, Ka, I want to know like, I want to know about did you attract the government attention?
In
to
addressing this kind of issue.
Yes, this kind of issue. How far it is?
How far it is? Being a political science student, I always told people this. Being a political science student, I don't like to engage myself in any political actions.
But why?
Yes,
I don't know why.
Yes. I can really
I,
symbol.
but I think, right, what I do is an act of politics as well, because I'm working with the people themselves on the ground. But there's this extent that I believe that we already reach our ceilings, what we do.
Price ceiling.
Yeah, there's a ceilings that we reach already, and now we need the policy maker themselves to come with us,
Okay.
because we cannot move
True.
more.
By yourself.
People always ask me, Rahayu, so what is it next for your children after this? How are your children going to survive? I always want my children to be able to sit for public exam and they can get certain types of certificates, so that they can go more. In Buku Jalanan Chowkit, right, we don't call ourselves as charity organization. We are never charity organization, because I believe that my children is not to be pity. My children is the responsibility of everyone. So I always invite the government side, to come together and work with us. I think that's how NGO, non-profit, civil society need to be engaged with the government side, with the policy maker, so that we can make things better. Because, for example, let's say I want my children to sit for public exam. I cannot simply say, okay, now allow my children to do that. I don't have that power. I need to work with policymaker. Alhamdulillah, I think with the new government, they at least open one door for stateless children. But that is only for one term of statelessness, where one of the where one of the parents need to be Malaysians. We have a lot of cases that even though one of the parents is Malaysians, but the children cannot be registered as Malaysians.
How come?
Sometimes it's marriage registration. Sometimes there's a lot of issues, So these kind of children's in 2000, I think starting early 2019, they can attend government schools already, which is alhamdulillah. But we are looking for more. We are looking for every children's. That's why I'm saying that we really need the involvement of policy makers to come along with us. I have one of my friend coming from the UK. So she came to my place and then she asked me, Rahayu, what are you doing? In the UK, this is the role of the government. And I was like, okay, never mind. That is in the UK, this is in Malaysia, right? I don't blame the government per se, but I believe that You know, things like this, issues like this, needs to be discussed more, so that it open the mind of people. And that is why I'm so happy to be invited today, so that I can speak about this plight.
Yes,
You
very
know,
true.
these issues that my children is facing. Not only my children. It is said that in Malaysia we have around 200,000 of stateless children. Imagine that 200,000 children cannot go to school. I don't know whether the data is right or not, because we don't have correct data about them. They are everywhere, not only in Chowkit, but everywhere. So what will happen to them? You know, if these children's, right, the government side, people, the society did not pay attention to them, right? They will create trouble to the society. And then I think it is the job of the society, the policy maker, the non-profit, the NGO, to try to integrate these people into the society. And how to integrate them is through educations. I believe that education is the only way that can change people.
Very true. True that.
That's the only way.
Okay, so we have a lot of undocumented children in this country.
Yeah, we have a lot of
And
them.
so far, how the government has done, as you mentioned, 2017, now they are trying to allow them to attend the public schools, right?
2019.
2019. So just currently then.
Yes,
Early
yes.
this year.
With the change of the new government. With the change of the new
But
government.
I believe that there are a lot of adults as well are documented.
Yes.
How about their future? I mean, like, if they cannot attend the schools, then they don't have certificate. So how do they have to work, the jobs?
I do think statelessness and I don't know. I don't know how to give this opinion, but I think somehow, right, refugees are being treated quite better than the stateless. What the reason being is because at least, right, refugee they have their own
place.
identity.
True.
They have somewhere that they belong.
True.
You know, stateless people like my children in Chowkit, right? Okay, of course they are born. Some of my children are born to Indonesian parents, right? But they cannot be registered as Indonesian, and they cannot be registered as
As
Malaysian.
Malaysians.
So who are there? You
That's
know,
very
they
dramatic stuff.
don't have any identity. They don't have any place for them to belong to. So that is why in Buku Jalanan, right? Because before this, people always say that UAE have Usrah Budi, right?
Yes.
So people always call us, right? For example, student from UAE called me recently. Hi, we want to work with homeless children, and I was like, where? Chowkit. Okay. We don't have homeless children. Oh, but we want to work with children of Buku Jalan Chowkit. And I was like, okay, what you want to do? We want to share knowledge with them. What kind of knowledge? You know, people always take these people, my children, and all these marginalized children as something that they can go and do good things, like how you're doing good things to you.
Yes.
And then after that, that's that.
Yes.
You know, what's more? What's more? How are we going to really integrate them into the society and make our world a better place for everyone?
True.
You know, I'm not only talking about Malaysians. And that is how I want to say that political science, right, and the department really shaped me into become a human being.
Yes, I believe there are a lot of things to talk
Yes.
about after
Yes.
this. But before that, I believe that the rights of the education should be distributed for everyone.
Yes.
Therefore, we are going to talk about this. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Political Insight, 40 minutes with political
Political
knowledge.
knowledge.
We have discussed a lot of things, Daniel, and it is very irony whereby the undocumented children is not being treated better than the refugees itself.
So okay, so we're gonna continue with the talking point for tonight. So, madam, what do you think is the importance of youth that can impact to these children?
It is very important. Like what you guys are doing today, right? It's very important. At least you're opening doors to conversations,
True.
you know, to undergraduate students, to university students, the importance of things. I think, right, okay, when we open Buku Jalanan Coket to volunteers, one of the reason being is that we want our children to have a positive conversations with outsiders, with people outside of Coket. And we want them to have a positive conversations again with responsible adults. That is what we want. Okay, so imagine if you guys calm down and volunteer, right, and spend time with them, you guys can be a very good role model to them. That's what youth today can do. Yes.
But however, like I think like youth nowadays, especially toward this issue, it is lack of awareness. Don't you think so?
Yes.
Madam, like most of them do not know like how many undocumented children exist in this country.
Yeah, for example, right, let's say, political science students, they want to come to us and volunteer.
True.
You know, they don't have to have like 1 day program with us. What you guys can do is that, for example, okay, you guys contacted us. Okay, we want to volunteer with the Buku Jalanan Coket. So what are the things that we can do? Or for example, you guys can come with the idea, like, okay, we are going to run a series of advocacy. You know, that's what political scientists do. You do awareness, you know, you do advocacy, things like that. Advocacy on statelessness, advocacy on territorial boundaries, advocacy about a lot of things. That is one form of volunteerism as well. Not only you guys came down, bagi makan, and then just go back. You know, or after a selfie. No. It can be whatever skills that you have. So that is why, right, I remember assisting a group of students. They did a volunteer project in one of orang asli house in Kota Damansara. So what they did was that they figured out that that house that institutions did not have their own Facebook, they didn't have their own social media, they didn't have their business card. So this group of youth, right, they helped them created Facebook, you know. So that is, I think it's mass comm students, they're doing that great work. See, you're applying something that you learn in order for you to help build the society. I think that's what more youth need to do.
Yes, so madam, we have talking about how to solve the problem, but then we will go back to the root causes. Do you think like what is the main causes that lead to this undocumented children?
The main cause.
Like that you found in the field.
I think, right, the root cause for everything is unequal distribution of wealth.
True.
Right? When poverty struck, right? So why is it people, for example, the Bangladeshi, the Indonesians, the Philippines, why is it they came to Malaysia illegally? Why is it they are risking their life? Because might be they're living in poverty.
True.
And are hoping for a better life here. And when they came here, right, and most of them are doing all the 3D jobs that Malaysia didn't want. Dirty, dangerous works, right? So, sometimes, right, this is the things that not they themselves wanted. And I think, right, in order to solve this, we need policy that enable human movement. And the world are moving so fast right now.
True.
We need some things that allow mobility to happen in a way that it is people's life. To create livelihood to people, right? They need people to be allowed to move beyond territorial borders, so that might be this kind of thing can help.
So based on your explanation, I believe like diplomatic relationship between countries is very needed, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
people say it's not easy.
True,
easy.
true,
Yeah.
true. Because every country has their own interest.
Yes.
And Daniel, anything that you want to ask Ken?
I mean, like, I thought at the very first was the problem with marriage, which I don't understand about the, let's say, the parents, the father is Malaysian but the mother is not Malaysian, and how come that does the children does not have any document?
Oh, because
Yeah.
in Malaysia, right, if the mother, the children's should be, the children's can only be registered according to their mother. Yes.
see.
Yeah, so the mother need to be Malaysian.
I see. So if the mother is, I mean, like illegal workers in
Yes.
Malaysia, then they
Yes.
are not
Yes,
able
yes.
to.
If it's a legal work, then it's okay
Yes.
lah. Because I don't understand, suddenly like under marriage not based on father. Okay. And then talking about the apa tadi? I forgot lah.
What is that?
Okay, never. And then other than a lack of awareness, I just want to ask your opinion about this one-time people who goes and then never come back, especially among the youth, as you mentioned earlier. Yeah.
I
That-
don't want to be a person who demotivates people. Might be, it is like it is like they really want to try the first time, but it is like me, for example, if I try to play football, might be I will think like, oh, this is not just my thing. Doing community works is not everybody thinks, you know. It is not wrong to come and try to observe, but then after that, right, you need to think that I have some things that I need to share with the community. If I can't go to the ground all the time, I don't have time, I'm not gifted with extra time to be with the community, I need to train myself to help in another way that is possible. Yeah, not everybody should go down to Chowkit. No.
It's a very nice discussion,
Yes.
God. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming for tonight. And I
Yes,
believe
very true. Yeah.
there are a lot of questions that we are going to ask, and I believe in the second session, because anyway, this is our last episode for the first session in the
Yeah.
semester.
Okay, so once again, thank you Puan for coming. Thank you for us because we invited her to introduce about Buku Jalanan, and thank you for everyone who joined for our tonight session on Political Insight. Thank you to our sponsor Jatimas. Hope to see you again on Political Insight next semester, new season. Thank you.
Yeah, it
For
is
being here. Thank you
very
again.
sad. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for
Assalamualaikum.
watching.